we're telling them exactly with data through diagnostic assessments, this is where your child is struggling. Let's meet them where they're at and let's build from there.
Yeah.
And I think once you meet a child where they're at and you're within that zone of proximal development, then you're going to see success. It's when we're a little too high or not challenging the child enough where there might be more pushback. But I also think how to get a child interested is go based on their strengths, go based on what they like. So ask your child, what do they like? Are they interested in Spider-Man? Fantastic. Go to the library and find some books on Spider-Man.
I love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go based on their strengths. And I think the strength-based approach to education speaks volumes. I think, especially for neurodivergent kids, but regardless of exceptionality, I think when you adopt a strength-based approach to education, you'll have that buy-in from the child because they'll realize, wow, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we look at it through a deficit model, which is more prevalent in the medical world. But when we look at how much a child has to offer and let them know, wow, you're really good at this, and give them the opportunities to develop those skills, that's amazing.
Amazing.
You know?
Good job,
Yeah.
Terri. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of all of this work that you're
Thank
doing,
you.
honestly. What's something that people might not realize about students with diverse learning needs?
There's a lot of misconception around neurodivergence, and I think that many of these students have tremendous potential.
Mhm.
And often we might not tap into that. We might look at it through a deficit model, right? They're lacking this and they're not able to do this and they can't do this. And that just, promotes that fixed mindset,
That's true.
which I see this beautiful poster here.
Yeah.
It really, it promotes that fixed mindset. If we want to move towards that growth mindset,
Yeah.
that's where that strength-based approach will come into play. And letting kids know what they're good at, because once they know that, they'll feel more confident in themselves, and we could be surprised at how much they can actually do when they know that they're great at something.
Yeah.
It's interesting, we were having a conversation with Miss Kivona downstairs before, and as a former student of hers, I can tell you that she has such high expectations of all of our students. And in one of my grades in elementary, there was I didn't have a very positive experience in my earlier years. And then along the way, I had way more positive experiences than negative. But what resonated was teachers like Miss Kivonen that truly believed in us. And that even though we have struggled in the past, that's okay. It's a fresh new start in her class. And she believed in us. And I think that growth mindset starts with the adults that are with us, are helping us grow.
Exactly. Beautiful. What are some of the challenges you faced along the way, whether it be in your shift of career, motherhood? What are some of the challenges that you have faced?
Yeah, I think more recently, motherhood definitely comes with its challenges. I think it's a world of contradiction too. So I'm navigating that world right now, and
you know what parent you want to be, you know what situation you want to, what you want to do under every situation, but you realize as you're in it, it's not how you necessarily had planned it, right?
That's right. And there's just so much that we don't know, and so much we have to be okay to not controlling. I'm very much, I like to be in control of my life and as much as possible. But as a parent, I mean, you know this more than I because you've been a parent longer.
No.
But it's interesting. There's just so much we can't control with our children, and we need to have faith in them. But yes, definitely as a mom. But I think in terms of my career, professionally and personally too, my biggest challenge was living abroad in China.
What was the most challenging part? Was it like a foreign language? Was it?
Okay, so I have a story to tell you. I had a scare. It was really almost like a life death situation where I got bit by a stray dog. And I needed to get to an emergency really fast because of potential rabies. And with rabies, it's pretty dangerous. You could, it can escalate and get bad really quickly. And so I had to navigate the healthcare system in a language I didn't speak. And that was daunting. Luckily, I did have excellent insurance and we were covered. I even had access to an American doctor, but I was very aware of that privilege. And I was very aware that if I didn't have that, how daunting navigating a healthcare system would be, right? So that was very challenging. And again, it made me appreciate, the stories of migrants coming to our country or immigrants coming to the country. It's difficult to navigate a new system. And when you add a political dimension that's different, living in a communist regime, very different from a democratic regime. And although our democracy is not perfect, I think it allowed me to appreciate what we have even more. But yeah, it was definitely challenging navigating these different systems.
And you were able to communicate no problem after?
You find a way. And like I said, I did have access to an American trained doctor, so that helped. But there was another, because in terms of the importance that culture plays in education, I think through that challenge, I never really fully realized just how important cultural sensitivity is in education. And I think the more and more diverse our classes are becoming, the more important it is for us to be cognizant of that reality. And I'll never forget Marilyn, who was it was at the beginning of the year. Actually, I'll tell you two quick stories. At the beginning of the year, it was my first day at the school. And it was a British Columbia offshore school, so Canadian curriculum, BC curriculum. And the students were grade 12. I was teaching ELA. And I walk into the classroom, my first day, and all of the students were sitting already in the class. So I was already shocked because I was expecting, to be there first and then everybody would come in. Yeah. Similar to what we have, like our system here. But they were all there and they all stood up for me. I'm telling you, I thought a fire alarm went off. I thought the fire alarm went off because I was so confused. I was so confused that everybody was getting up and I'm like, what's going on? And they looked at me and they're like, welcome to our class, Miss Seminara. And I couldn't believe it. I was so touched. But the value of education was just, it's so high up there, which was really beautiful. It was really humbling to be there. And then
Which
another
country was this?
This was in China.
Okay.
Yeah, Canadian International School in China. Yeah.
If I ever want to try teaching at another country where
it was fabulous.
Students will stand for me.
Honestly, fabulous. And another interesting cultural story was towards the beginning of the year, thank goodness, and you'll know why in a second. I was handing back essays that were signed, marked,
graded,
graded. Thank you. And I guess I was just handing them out like I did back home with one hand. Okay. And at the end of my class, my students, South Korean, so in my class I had mainly Chinese students, Chinese nationals, as well as Korean and Japanese. And it was my South Korean student that came to see me, and he asked me, Miss Seminara, are you upset at me? I was so confused. Again, I'm like, what do you mean upset at you? Like, why would I be upset at you? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Why would you think that? I was so confused. And he looked at me, he's like, it's the way that you handed me my assignment. And I'm like, please tell me more because I'm missing something here. And he had explained to me that in his culture, handing things with one hand was a gesture of disrespect. It was impolite. And, when he said that, I immediately realized that I was his student.
Yeah.
Like he just taught me something valuable and made me realize that, well, first of all, I was so thankful that he did this at the beginning of the year and not at the end of the year because my students were
all year, my teacher hates me. There's something.
But it pushed me to be a better teacher for them. So much so that at the end of the year, I mustered up the courage to record a message for them before they wrote their end of year ministry exams. And I'm laughing because I thought it was so good. It took me an hour and a half to record a 30-second message. But
that speaks volumes, though.
I wanted to sound fluent in Mandarin. Okay. I don't want to sound choppy, and I really wanted to convey what I wanted them to know before they went into that really high stakes exams, which there is it's
Yeah.
at a whole other
Just
level.
imagine.
And when I sent it to them, I was so excited to then go in the room because I sent it through we had WeChat.
Learning. Okay. Yeah.
So it was through, I sent them the recording. They all got it. They heard it. And I was excited to see them and see the excitement on their face when they saw it, because they saw, wow, Miss Seminara finally spoke to us in Mandarin. Because I was trying really hard throughout the year with a private tutor, but it's very complex, rich language.
I
It's
could
very
just
difficult,
imagine.
okay? So I felt very bad that I wasn't able to learn more. But I sent it to them, went to see them, and they were just like, they appreciated it so much. But I had one student who was like, Miss, you sound exactly like Siri.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
wow, I sound like the GPS system. I sound like, I can't believe it. I was robotic. And
But
I
I
thought I
think
was
it's a
fluent.
compliment.
I thought I was completely fluent. But I guess I sounded a little robotic. I don't know. But, anyways, all this to say, I think at the end of the day, they really appreciated that. And it just goes to show that as educators, I think if we want to have an inclusive classroom, then it's these small little gestures that even if I looked like a fool, it didn't matter. At the end of the day, they knew that I worked really hard
Yes.
and that I really meant it. And that's what mattered more to them than anything else. So
It's great. This question is going to be hard for you because I feel like there's so many. But Terri, what is one of your proudest moments so far?
becoming a mom. I thought I knew what unconditional love meant before. I'm having so much fun with him now and trying to embrace being fully present with him. But I'm really proud to be his mom because I think he's an exceptional little boy and teaches me every day. And I think he helps me put into perspective what really matters. And sometimes I'm hard on myself for no reason, and I look at him and he's just smiling at me.
I was going to
And
say, what is the how has becoming a mom influenced your perspective on
on
education
education,
or life in general? And I feel like you're about to answer it already.
yeah, actually, I gave I taught a class at Concordia a couple of weeks ago, and it was funny because I was invited by um, a dear friend who now works there, and she told me, she's like, you know, you spoke you spoke about you gave examples about being a mom, and I can see how much it's already influenced your view on education, and it touched me because I really do think that as a mother, I've gained, I think, and I'm still gaining, but that empathy towards parents
Yeah.
a lot more. I always thought I had a certain level of understanding, but it's different now. And I think realizing education through a more personalized lens and realizing that, yes, it's about the student, but it's not only about the student, it's about the family behind the student.
What is something that motivates you to keep doing the work that you do? And I feel like you've already answered this
Yeah,
question, but is there
I would
something?
say impact. I think having an impact on my students, on
Mhm.
students in general, a positive impact. Um, because I think that, you know, it for me, when I think, success, I think success is, it means something when we're giving back, when there's that component of how can I use my strengths to give back and be in service of others.
Yeah.
And by seeing other people, watching our students grow and learn,
Yeah.
that for me is a motivator because I feel like I'm living my purpose, right?
As an educator, instant gratification is like when the student gets it, they appreciate it, they appreciate you. But I feel like
Absolutely.
what's more important for me anyway,
Yeah.
just today alone, we had three previous students come to the classroom
Wow.
and with a big smile. And I'm like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I just wanted to come say hi. And it's the biggest compliment that I think a teacher can get is when a
Absolutely.
student just wants to come say hi.
To say thank you for what you've done
Yeah.
for them. Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. I think
speaks
it's so
volumes.
important and it does speak volumes.
So the impact that you're making not only affects them today, and hopefully it's on
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So Is there something, Terry, that you're working towards right now or something that you want to achieve in the near future?
I think right now, trying to be the best mom I could be. But aside from that, in terms of my work and when I do go back, when my mat leave is over and back in my day-to-day job, I think just continuing to promote the importance of equity in our education system. I think that's something that's super important because there's a difference between equality and equity, and I think having those conversations with our children, our students is important, especially for students with neurodiversity. I think it's important to know that sometimes what they need is not the same.
Terry, one more thing before we go. Are you ready for a rapid fire round?
Do it. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Just tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%.
Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings now with a baby.
No choice. Do you get to sleep? Because I didn't.
I do. He's a little angel.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I mean, knock on
wood. Books or podcasts?
Ooh, that's hard. I would say books, but I'm enjoying podcasts a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
The classroom or office work?
The class. I really miss the classroom, and I'm not in the classroom as much now. But I miss it a lot. Which, you know what, I think this is a fire round, right?
Yeah,
I shouldn't be.
yeah, it's okay. Just talk. It's okay.
Classroom, but my day-to-day is in the office. But when I get to schools, I'm very happy.
You're happy. You're grateful.
That.
Yeah. Routine or flexibility?
Oh, flexibility.
One word that describes you.
I would say empathetic.
A value that you live by.
Integrity.
Your favorite way to unwind.
Just being with my husband and baby and dog, my beautiful golden doodle.
One thing that motherhood has taught you.
Unconditional love.
A book
I thought I knew what that was, but no, not until Mateo.
You love your husband, but you unconditionally love your son.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. A book that everyone should read.
You know what? I've been reading so many parent books right now, and one of the ones I'm trying to think of the name. I literally went through like 8 in the last couple of months.
So a parenting book.
In parenting. I can give you links afterwards, but they've been very good.
A place that inspired you.
My time in China.
A hidden talent. Is there anything that you don't do, Terry?
Oh my god, there's a lot. A hidden talent. I don't know. That's I have no idea.
Okay,
you would have to ask my husband.
Dream project.
A dream project. Continuing my work, my one-on-one, more in private practice with kids. That's a project that I'm currently doing, and I'm loving it very much as a literacy interventionist.
Is there someone that inspires you?
My mom.
And one goal for this year?
Being as present in the life of my son as much as possible, because I tell myself every day he is never going to be this little again. So
Mateo's really lucky to have you as a mom.
Oh, thank you. I feel fortunate.
Tara, before you go, is there one piece of advice that you'd like to offer the audience?
For students at Galileo, or even the students in general, life could be difficult, and there will be many challenges in our life. And sometimes we think we want to do something, or we might not know, but in my experience where I had to pivot, that was very hard for me to pivot and change careers. Leaving law to education wasn't an easy decision, but I think if you align your strengths and what makes you happy, again, always in service of others, then I think, being honest with yourself, if you have to make a jump and change to something else, then do it, because no experience is ever lost. So whatever led you to that point, even if you have to change, you recognize that those experiences along the way shaped who you are.